So, hello guys. I'm just trying to see if I could do a green screen maybe. Hmm. So, I'm not really sure if this is good, but I really wanted to try a green screen. And yes, so welcome back to another live stream of ours. And hello, we are going to do something different. This time also, we are going to do what I read this week, and we are going to do some reviews of some of the rom-coms that I read this week, and that is the thumbnail is. But I don't know why it's only showing part of the thumbnail, not the entire thing. But it's okay. I just want to try this feature out, and I really like it. I'll keep in mind to sort of customize this tab thumbnail in the future. So that's what we are going to do. And before that, let me tell you, yesterday I got to experience how it feels when someone interrupts your live stream, because I was doing a book haul and I really discussed all the books, but I didn't get the time to give you an outro because I was interrupted. There was some one in the house, so I had to attend to them. So that's why I cut the live stream yesterday very abruptly, and then I didn't know what to do. I didn't know whether I should start another live stream or something else, and it really caught me off guard. So I feel like if in the future I get interrupted again during this live stream, I thought instead of just stopping it abruptly, I maybe give some topic to discuss in the live chat. I think that would be good, so that by the time the viewers would be able to discuss or have a chat, I would be able to come back. That is something, but hopefully I won't get interrupted anymore in the future. But just in case it might happen, this is my plan. So yes, I want to talk that too. So I thought I would also give you a bit of recap on yesterday's live stream where we were doing the book haul. And I thought we already discussed the books in detail, but I would give a bit more info about the books just as a recap, because I didn't get to give you, a conclusion. So, like I said yesterday, we had 5 books to discuss. I took 5 books from the library, and it were 3 thrillers and 2 rom-coms. And I also asked you to tell me what your favorite genre is. Do you like thrillers? Do you like rom-coms more? And if you're a new viewer, then like this video and hit that subscribe button as well. And yes, so I took 3 thrillers and 2 rom-coms. And let's see, starting with this one, James Patterson. I hope it's clear. James Patterson, Murder in Paradise. I hope it's clear. I think, yes. Okay. This is a collection of 3 books, and let's see what I could say about this is that it's something that is full of suspense. I already started reading this book, and it's a collection of 3 thrillers, and I already finished the first thriller just today, just this morning, and it's really full of suspense and plot twist, and I'm loving it so far. So that's why I thought I would start with it. And next is Sophie Kinsella's Shopaholic Ties a Note. This is the book. Yes, I think it's clear this way. This is the book, and it's a part of a series called Shopaholic series by Sophie Kinsella, but you could also read it as a standalone as well. And the story is about Becky Bloomwood, and she has this addiction to shopping. And the problem is that this addiction sort of gets her into a lot of trouble. And that's basically what the series is about. And this particular book ties the note. This Becky getting married, and again her shopping addiction gets the better of her and lands her in a lot of trouble. So that's what this book is about. And I think this is more of a comedy than romance. If you want a very good, feel good light read, something that will make you laugh out loud, then definitely check out this book. And next we have another rom-com, that is Something Wilder by Christina Lauren. This is the book, and this is again a rom com because it's about treasure hunting. So, our heroine is a treasure hunter, a guide, tour guide for treasure hunting, fake treasure hunting spot. And in comes her ex, who she doesn't want anything to do with, but the ex is desperate to have, another try at the relationship. So that is basically something this book is about. It's about forced proximity. So something happens and they come together, and I'm guessing that a lot of things about the relationship is going to get revealed. And next we have A Silent Widow by Sydney Sheldon. This is the book, and again it's a thriller. First time taking a Sydney Sheldon book. And this is, I think, okay, this is about Nikki Roberts, and she makes a living out of reading people. And uh, it happens that all of her victims are involved in a crime. I'm guessing that they are all the people who gets murdered. There's a uh, serial killing happening, and all her clients are the victims. So she is obviously a common link in all these murders, and whether she is going to get in trouble herself or she is going to investigate this thriller herself. That is, I think, the basic of the book. And the last one that I was discussing when the live stream got interrupted, that was this book, Robin Cook, The Host. And this is something called medical thriller. Okay. So this is something where the characters are from the medical field. And I think here in particular, the main character is a medical examiner, and her boyfriend suddenly gets um, I think he dies abruptly, and when she starts searching for answers, she finds out that there is something that is going on in the hospital itself, something that is illegal. And as she investigates, she finds out that the hospital is not as, let's say, they don't have the purest of intention. And now she is after a killer who knows that the person is being tracked. So she in herself is getting herself into trouble. Again, this is a medical thriller, and I guess this is the first time I'm reading something by Robin Cook as well. So again, a new author for me and a new story for me, because I don't read a lot of medical thrillers. So I'm excited to read this. So this is what we have been discussing in the previous live stream with 5 books. And I thought I would read this and review this either as a long form video or as a live stream. It depends on when I get to finish it and also the duration I want the video to be. So I just want to mention this because I couldn't give the outro yesterday. So, yes, I hope you have liked the book haul. So, tell me, which do you actually prefer? Do you actually prefer going to the library or the bookstores more? And which is your favorite genre? Do you like thrillers? If that is the case, then you can definitely check out my playlist on my channel. And if you like rom-coms, I have a playlist and I'm adding more book recs to it as well. Okay. Or if it is anything else, it could be fantasy, or there's this genre called romantasy that combines, romance and fantasy. And there is a lot of non-fiction out there that I don't really read a lot, but I would love some book suggestions or recommendation if there is. So with that, we are going to go to some of the rom-coms that I read this week, exclusively rom-coms, because I found out that I've been reading quite a lot of rom-coms, and I read four. I want to discuss four. And one is Beach Road by Emily Henry. And then we have Weather Girl by Jenna Redland, I think her name is. And then we have The Love Wager by Lynn Painter, and one more. Sorry, Jessica Redland is the book that you can see at the top. New Beginnings, as he said, Bloom. And Weather Girl, let's see the one behind me. That is by Lynn Solomon. Okay, so those are the books that I read. And let's see, which do you want to start? You could tell me. And I thought I would start with The Beach Read by Emily Henry. I think I have read quite a few books by Emily Henry, and I really liked it. The main reason was that I like slow burn romances. Okay, so if you're someone like me who loves slow burn romances, then definitely like this video and subscribe to my channel, because I'll be giving you all sorts of book recommendations there. And like I said, okay, Emily Henry's The Beach Read was something I took up because I wanted a good, slow burn romance, and it did not disappoint. And that is why we are going to start with that. I have already written down my reviews in my tab so that I wouldn't get confused between the characters of the book, because we are discussing four of them. So I didn't want to get, confused between the characters and everything. So, yes, we have The Beach Read by Emily Henry, and it was published in 2020. And the main characters are January Andrews and Augustus Everett. Okay, these are the main characters. And what happens is, January Andrews, she is a best-selling romance author. Okay, and lately she has been going through a writer's block, and also her father died, and the secret is revealed that he had a secret family. He had a mistress all along. So that is also something that really, really traumatized her, and she has come to a beach house in North Bear Shores in Michigan, because this beach house was the one that her father left for her. So that's why she has come here, because she wants to write a new book. She's not getting, enough inspiration. So she thought she would come here, sort of make sense of her life. And that's when she meets Augustus Everett. He is a literary fiction author. Okay, he writes serious books, completely different rom-coms. And he is not only her next door neighbor, but he is also someone from her college. They have a sort of enmity going on during their college days, but now they meet again as neighbors. And both of them are struggling to write. Both of them have the next book, coming out, but they don't know what to write. So they are going through a writer's block, and they want some inspiration. So they make a pact, make a deal, that they would Jonah swap. The thing is that, January writes a lot of rom-com, and Augustus write a lot of serious, literary fiction. So they thought they would Jonah swap, and January would write literary fiction, something serious, and Augustus would try to write a rom-com. Okay, so that's how they make a deal. And they thought they would they would overcome their writer's block that way. So that is how they do this deal, and they do their research together. And I think you can already guess where this is going to go. So not going to spoil that for you. But one thing I absolutely loved in this book is that, there's this emotional arc. It's not just a very light rom-com, something very cliche. There is in an emotional arc, especially when it comes to January and Augustus. You will come to know once you read the book that both of them are going through a trauma of sort, something that is very different to their lives, and both of them are trying to overcome it, and intentionally or unintentionally they are going to help each other. Okay, so that's one thing I really liked. I really liked the bantering in it as well. I don't know if I should call this an enemies to lovers trope, but definitely there was a very good bantering, and I really enjoyed that as well. And this is, the plot is something that I really liked, because this is not something that I have often come across, where the characters itself are writers and they are doing something like genre swapping and everything. So that is something that I really liked as well. And very strong character development, because the January and Augustus that we meet at the starting of the book, it's not the same people that we meet at the end of the book. They have undergone very good character development. So that is also a plus point. And I think for those of you who are going to want to read a light rom-com, this is not, let's say, as light as you want it to be, because like I said, there's a lot of emotional depth to this book. If you're someone who enjoys that kind of a thing, then definitely try this book. And the ending, I personally felt, was a bit rushed. Okay, but that's just a personal opinion. But nevertheless, definitely try out this rom-com. And the next one we are going to do is the love wager. Actually, let me see if I could show you, you know, a cover page of the book, because you can only see like two books in this green screen. I thought it would show the entire thumbnail, but apparently not. So let me try and see if I could show you the cover page of Beach Read. So I'm trying to show the cover page, but very, very unsuccessful. Okay, the light is a bit glaring, but I hope it's somewhere along the way it's clear. Anyhow, I'll be doing a short of this. I'll be uploading a YouTube short of the cover page. So this is what the cover page looks like, and we already did the review. So we are going to move on to the next book, that is The Love Wager by Lynn Painter. So let me see if I could pull up the cover page of that as well. I'm not going to show the other two because we already seeing this here. Okay. So the love wager is something I came across when I was looking for a book with a lot of banter. I wanted to read a book with a banter, a rom-com, and I came across this book. New author for me because I never read anything by Lynn Painter yet. And I hope somewhere in the way you were able to get an idea of the cover page. And let's move on to the review of this. Okay, this is a contemporary romance published in 2023. And this is, something like fake dating, friends to lovers, and online dating kind of thing. And I really like the blurb because the story is about Haley Piper. And this is actually a follow up to Mr. Wrong Number, a book by Lynn Painter. Apparently, this is a sequel, but it could be read as a standalone as well, because I'm only getting to know about the first book after I read them. So I had no idea that this was actually a sequel, because it never, confusing. It didn't felt like a discontinuation. So this is something that talks the story about Piper. She's a bartender and also a web designer, and she gets, a gig, and it's to be a bartender for a wedding. And she meets the brother of the bride with whom she has a one night stand. And then in the morning, she just escape. Okay. And then she is just coming out of a bad relationship, so she wants to try dating again, and her friend suggests a dating app, and she gets in and she matches with someone. And that's when she finds out that the one she matched with is the exact person she spent the night with the other day at the wedding. And he is our hero, he is Jack Marshall. So then they connect, they come together, they connect, and they decide that they would be wingmen for each other, because Jack is also coming out of a relationship. he wants to date again. So they decide that they would help each other and to find, each other's dates. And then I think in the midst of what follows, I can't really tell you the entire story, but something happens that sort of forces them to fake date each other. And let's say that the fake dating turned to something else. And that's how the story entirely goes. But I'm telling you, the bantering is on point, okay? So, something that I really liked, what really worked in this movie is again the incredible banter, because the dialogue feels really real, and it's very nicely paced. It's not cringe. And there is also very realistic emotional arc. This book also has a bit of an emotional arc. I'm that kind of a person who likes that sort of a thing, even in a rom-com. So that's why I really liked it, because both Haley and Jack, they are going through something and they are there to support each other. And throughout the journey, they make mistakes, they learn from it, they accept it, and they move on, they learn. And this is something that does justice to the prompt of fake dating, because I think fake dating is a prompt that could go wrong if you don't do it right. But here we see very good narrative, and the friends to lovers track is also something that could go wrong if you don't narrate it well. But here they do full justice to it, so kudos to the author for really getting it right. And if you're expecting a lot of melodrama, then I think this book is going to disappoint you. There's not a lot of drama. It's a very low on drama, on my personal opinion, but the chemistry is super high, okay? So even though the angst is very minimum, and I think, the rom-com part of it, the romance part of it is super. And I feel that personally, some of you know subplots out there was very predictable. As it you If you read a lot of rom-com, you can sort of predict a lot of subplots here or there. So for me, a lot of plots out there was predictable, but that's okay. It doesn't really drag the story down. So that's why I'm not really saying that that's a weak point. And like I said, if you're someone who is looking for a deep angst or a lot of emotional depth, like we said in the previous book, then not you can't find a lot in this book. This sort of leans more into the romance part of it than a lot of angst, like I said. So if you're looking for a very good, light, full of banter, then this is the book. Okay. Okay, next we have The Weather Girl, and this is the book. Well, let me get out of the way. You can see it in the screen itself. This is the book that we're going to discuss. It's The Weather Girl by Rachel Lynn Solomon, published in 2022. And okay, so this is something that is the trope is workplace romance. Okay, particularly personally, I'm not a fan of workplace romance, but nevertheless, it's a good prompt to have if you want to read rom-com, if you want to experiment with a lot of tropes out there. And again, forced proximity, this is something that you usually see in this book. And this story is about Ari Abrams. She is a Seattle TV meteorologist, someone who talks about the climate and weather. And we also have her boss, Torrance, who is a legendary figure, a legendary meteorologist. But the office also has her ex-husband, Seth, who is the station's news director. Okay, and these two are at heads. They are not really fans of each other. They are going through a divorce, and this has actually made the workplace very toxic. Okay, the constant fight and everything, and everyone is desperate and frustrated. So Ari teams up with Russell, and he is the sports reporter, and they come together to sort of parent trap their boss. Okay, they want to bring the bosses together to in hopes of a reconciliation. Okay, and in the midst of it, Ari and Russell come together, and you see a very unexpected chemistry. But the problem is that Ari has been struggling with long term depression. So she is very uh, very traumatic, and she is not sure whether she should go ahead with a relationship. And same is the case with Russell. And I don't want to spoil it, but he is also going through something very personal. And he is also, not sure if he wants a relationship. So that's how the story is, whether they are going to go ahead with their decisions, or whether they are going to, let their trauma take over. That's the question. I really loved how, they discuss mental health, particularly the depression. It's not romanticized and it's not idealized. It's treated as it is, as and it is shown as realistically as possible. And it's not, something that becomes a backdrop, or like I said, it's not something that is romanticized or idealized. That's something I really appreciated. And I also liked how the workplace culture is also discussed realistically. It's not always perfect. It's not picture perfect. It's not always going to be healthy and happy and laughing all the ways. Sometimes there are struggles that happen and you have to go through it, and it shows the realistic aspect of it. And it also shows, a realistic relationship as well, because like I said, both our heroes have gone through something that is very traumatic for them, and they want to try again. So that is also something that is very realistic. It's not love at first sight. That's what I want to point out. It's not love at first sight. It's not heart ties all through the story. They deal with a lot of things, and they discuss it, and they make good choices, good decisions. And it's also promote body positivity, and shows how, plus size figures are also, they are also presented as desirable, respectable, and lovable. And again, it's something that is very contradictory to the beach body that you usually see in a lot of rom-com. So I really like that as well. And what could be better is something I feel that, the parent trap subplot, it could have been worked a little bit more, because halfway through, I sort of forgot about the plan. The plan became something else. That's what I felt. So I feel like the subplot could have used more depth. And I feel that in the middle, it's a good pace, but somewhere in the middle, I felt a bit slow. But maybe it could be a personal thing, or it could not be the case if you read it. So, if you like books like The Love Hypothesis, or let's say The Hating Game, and if you are a fan of these kind of books, then definitely check out The Weather Girl that you can see in the back. This is the cover, and definitely check it out because you are going to love this book. So, next we have only one more book, and that is New Beginnings at Seaside Bloom. You can see it at the top. This is the book that we are going to discuss next. This is New Beginnings at Seaside Blooms by Jessica Redland. Okay. So, I read this book because I wanted to read the book that shows something new beginning. Okay. Something a starting over. That was the prompt, and that's how I came with this book. This is also a sequel. And there's a book two of the series called Welcome to Whitborough Bay, but it could be read as a standalone as well. So, this is a contemporary romance, and we see a small town romance, second chance. A lot of focus is going on friendship, and the story is about Sarah Peterson. And her life is also a mess. She had a perfect life, but then her fiance broke her engagement, and she's also out of job, and she comes to this small town to take over the florist shop that you see here. This belonged to her aunt, and she's moving away. So Sarah comes in to take over this flower shop, and she starts over as a florist. Now the thing is that she once met a clairvoyant, and that person told her that she is going to meet someone called Steven, who is going to change her life. Okay, so she is a huge believer of this kind of things. So she decides to track down this Stephen with the help of online dating apps out there. And she thought once she would meet this Stephen, her life would just, be better. So she starts her search. She meets a lot of Stephen, a lot of people out there, because all of a sudden she's meeting a lot of people, like a customer, or the plumber, or online dates and all of that. So she's very excited. She's thinking that one or more Stephen is going to change her life, potentially become her soulmate. But, you know, I don't want to spoil it, but a lot of things happen. And it's something similar to the movie. I think it's called, I forgot the movie. It's called 21 or something, I think, or the movie called Perfect Number. I forgot. I think I would mention it in the comment if I remember it. Again, it's based on something called luck, and it's also based on something called superstition, where a certain someone or a certain number is going to help you cross over your difficulties. So that's the basic idea of it. And yeah, her search for Steven's start, and she meets a lot of Steven, and she is in for an adventure. And at the same time, she also has this crush on this person who comes in, uh, and he's a web designer, and she has this crush, and they're hitting off very well. There's only one problem: his name is not Stephen. So she doesn't actively want to move on with that relationship, with that crush. But then again, she's not sure if Stephen is, just something, a red herring or something, a clue to something, or whether an actual Stephen is going to come into her life to change things. So it's been an adventure. This book is an adventure, and I really loved going through this book with the character. And I really love the small town setting. And we see a very cozy, vivid, small town that makes you want to move in. And again, Sarah feels so relatable. That's also one thing I really liked. It's she's like our next door girl, a friend that you have been, bantering with all along. So she's very relatable. And like I said, you go through the adventure with her, and there is a nice balance of romance and also this sort of character development out there. It's not just rom-com. We see her going through a lot of things, and I really like the emotional arc here. Not very intense, but then again, it's very fun. And also the humor is very good. It's a very slapstick kind of a humor, but then again, it's what's very sweet. And what could have been better is that I feel like some of the subplots, they could have been predictable, because like every rom-com, it's very cliche, sort of a predictable thing. So I feel like, but then again, it's also part of any comfort, cozy rom com out there. So I wasn't really bothered by it. But I'm just saying that as a reader, when you read a lot of books with the same kind of pattern, you sort of expect, something more, something different. So that was just something that I felt. And this is a slow burn. So slow burn, and it's a very subtle kind of a slow burn. I didn't mind it because I really love a good slow burn. And what else? Mm, yeah, that's more of things that I really liked in these books. And once again, if you like, gentle romance, especially if you like romance that deal with a lot of friendship dynamic, then definitely check out this book. I think you're going to enjoy it very good. So these are some of the books that I have read over the week, particularly the rom-coms, and I really like this, and I'm really glad I could discuss this with you. So if you are watching this and you like the review so far, then definitely like this video. And if you love rom-coms in general, then maybe comment, a red heart in the comments, so I know how many of you enjoyed this genre, so that I could recommend more books for you in the future. Okay, so right now my current read is, like I said, James Patterson. Let me see if I could get this book. So this is the book that I'm currently reading. It's a thriller, and I'm definitely going to review not only this, but every book that I have taken up for my whole as soon as I finish reading this. So next up, I think I haven't planned it yet, but I have read a few of the, comedy genre, humorous books out there. Not a lot, just three books. So I thought I would discuss it in the next content. And if you like this live stream so far, then definitely subscribe if you're a new viewer. I hope you will enjoy all the recommendation that I give in this live stream and in our videos as well. So that's it. I'm going to wind up for today. See you in the next video or see you in the next live stream. Till then, stay tuned and happy reading. Bye.